Hi, this is Sarah, the Stitchin Mommy, and I'm here on Monday, April 24th, 2023, and here for my weekly cross-stitching update. It's a bit extensive this week, so I'm excited to share with you. I just returned late last night from the Shenanigans retreat in Las Vegas, and that was really fun. So I will talk more about that at the end as it comes up in the week as I go through the week. So if you don't care about pictures and acquisitions and things, you can skip that part. I'll leave it closer to the end, but I'll have what I worked on kind of in the normal flow of my progress updates. So, and yeah, some things I'll have to show as I get to them because they are involved in my progress. So you'll see. So first off, I guess we'll start with travel stitching like we usually do. And I'll go ahead and show my temperature quaker because that's what I always start with. And I did work on this at the retreat, which was fun. And I was there with Colette, the highway stitcher, and she worked on hers on Saturday night. So it was fun to see each other's, and I will probably pop pictures in throughout the time if there's a buddy stitch that I had. Mostly, I think they're all with Colette. I did bring one that I have with Julie from Stitching at the Cabin, but we didn't get a picture. I never ended up working on it. I think she only worked like one length of thread, so we didn't get a picture of that. But here is my progress on temperature quaker. And this is 25 count vintage cloth in the color Prim, 1/1 full cross. And something that is always comes up in person is how small these things are. And I don't even really notice how small they are as I'm working on them. But then when I had a couple things I brought out for the brag table that were over 1. And even me bringing them out again after a couple years of having finished them, like, wow, that's really tiny. So like, here's my hand. These are my, I have small hands too. Quite small. But yes, I'm working on April. I got one more hotter color there. It was 90 here on Friday, but I was partway in the car and partway in Las Vegas. So I don't know what the weather was there. It was actually very pleasant there. This weekend, it wasn't super hot. Of course, we were inside most of the time, but even when we were outside a little bit, it was nice. So that was great. I'll put in a picture here of me and Colette with our temperature pieces all caught up. And hers is on 40 count over 2, and mine's on 25. So they're kind of close. 20 count stitches and 25 count stitches. So yes, so that was fun. More travel stitching. I worked on, did I write this down? Pretty sure I finished this week. Yeah, I didn't write down what day I finished it, but I am pretty sure I finished Pearly Pig this week. There was Thursday, I only worked on travel stitching, so I'm not sure. I don't think it was that day though. I think it was finished earlier in the week. So here is Pearly Pig, all done, looking super sweet. These are all on 18 count light blue Aida, 2/1 full cross with a called for DMC. And yeah, she's cute. I like how she turned out. Let's see, put her where she goes. Getting more in my collection of finished Advent animals. I'll go through those again later when I have them all finished. And then I kept going on Odette Owl. She was my next Advent animal choice for the month of April based on the Whipco draws. This is stuck on my scissors. It's a little crumpled. But here she is now. This is Odette Owl. And I did the gray outline, like the extra gray bits in her body. so that it would be easy just to fill in all the white, and did like a length or two of white. So that's all I got to on her. So I'll keep working on her this week. It would be really nice to finish her this week since it's the last week of April. Probably won't get to my shoes because she still has a good amount of work to do. But I did have a comment previously about my antique shoe collection and how it's a lot more work than the time I have to give it. And somebody said, you know, it is my oldest project. Even if I get it to 50% done, it's better than nothing. So I'm not going to stress out about not getting it finished this year because I have other things I think I'd rather finish more, but I do want to keep plugging away at it as I have time with travel stitching. So yeah, so that I hope to get back to that. I didn't do any on that this week. I did a little bit of flea market flowers. I must have done that on Thursday too. I didn't write that down, but I'm pretty sure I did. Oh yeah, I was gonna pull this out at the retreat too, and I never did. Too much. It was too fun. I talked to people, but I did work on this a little bit on Thursday. I talked with my sister. So here is Flea Market Flowers by It's So Emma at the Fat Quarter Shop. 1/1 full cross on 25 count vintage cloth. So I worked on these petals, got them almost done, and then there's the centers of the flowers, and May will be finished. So I'm ahead of the game on this one, which is nice because there's a couple larger blocks here coming up, so which will probably put me back on track. So I'm glad to be ahead at this point. And then Monday I did pull out my honeybee from Mill Hill Monday. This is a buttons and beads kit, and I did 2 lengths of thread on this, so not a lot, but something. Using called for everything. I did 1 length of orange on this side to kind of make the honeycomb shapes over here, and then I did 1 length of light yellow, which is included right here, and maybe over here too, but these beads right here are also attached with that light yellow color, so I went ahead and added those while I was at it. So yeah, so 2 lengths of thread on that one. I may work on that again today because it is nice to chip away at that one. I'm kind of getting in the rhythm with that one. That might be all my like travel stitching, bonus stitching stuff. I did not work on my fairy at all this week. It was too busy getting ready for the retreat. This is what I normally would like to work on if I have extra time in the afternoons. I just didn't this week. And I decided not to bring it to the retreat because I didn't want to. And I wanted to work on other things more. So, but I guess I'll show you where I'm at on that one, even though there's no progress, because hopefully I'll have some progress on it this week. So so here is what you saw last time. This is the starting point. 32 count water lily linen, 2/2 full cross, my own color conversion. So I still don't know what I might keep backstitch this section and maybe do some beading. I think that'd be fun before coming down and doing more of this. So we'll see. This week I think will be fairly normal in life. I'll have some activities this weekend, but I think overall this week will be I'll be able to do some stitching, so that will be nice. Okay, my main project for the week was my full coverage no background for the month of April that I chose to do, and that's Mini Butterfly Rose Cross by Bridget Ashwood, Heaven and Earth Designs. I am stitching mine with I took the background out myself. I believe you can find a version of this where they have already taken the background out. And I'm stitching it on some hand-dyed thread by hand-dyed fabric by Hand Dyeing Duo on Instagram, which I really like. This color reminds me of Glacier by Picture This Plus, which I'm stitching my owl family on. But the stitching experience is much better on this stuff. The Picture This Plus is very tight and puffy, so it's hard to do 1/1 on 28 count because it's probably more like 30 count, and it's just tight. This is nice. It's not tight, it's not puffy, and I really enjoyed working on this. I didn't get as much time as I maybe would have liked. I didn't work on it at all on Thursday because I was just too busy, but did 133 on Tuesday, 246 on Wednesday, 113 at the retreat on Friday, and 109 at the retreat on Saturday. So I will not do math in my head right now, but I will put on the screen maybe what the total was for this rotation of 4 days instead of 5. I was doing top-down symbols, so the top of these sticks are quite finished mostly there, which is cool looking. And then at the retreat, I wanted to work on the butterfly more. So I kind of skipped these symbols that were next and came over here and worked on butterfly. And there's a lot of confetti in that butterfly, but it's fun to see it kind of start to take shape. So that was fun. Let's see. Okay, everything else is what I worked on at the retreat. So I will share my progress of what I did there, and then I will maybe talk plans for this coming week, and then talk about what I received at the retreat, and then like do a little montage of pictures of people that I met, because that was part, like, probably the most exciting part of being there. So on Friday, I dropped my kids off at school and got on the road at 8 o'clock in the morning and arrived in Las Vegas at just after noon. Met up with Colette at a sandwich place near Stitcher's Paradise. We had lunch and then we went shopping. And I will share what I bought because it directly impacts my progress at the retreat. So we were looking around. I didn't have any intentions of buying anything specific. We were just browsing. She found a couple charts she liked, and I was, of course, flipping through literally every Mirabilia and Nora Corbett they had in these buckets, and this one stood out to me as just being, I loved the movement of her skirt and her bodice, just super beaded and dark, and I just fell in love with it. And the ladies there, I asked if they had a bead pack, and so the owner looked it up in her computer. They didn't have a bead pack, but she took the pattern from me, wandered off, came back a few minutes later with all the beads that she had pulled for me. So that was so nice. Customer service there is top notch. So then we went into the fabric area and pulled a bunch of fabrics. I was thinking something blue or green, probably light and not too busy because her dress already has so much going on. And we settled on this blue-gray Zweigart. It's solid color. Not super exciting, but I think with her it'll look just right. Throughout the process, I could tell that Colette really liked this pattern too. There was only one copy of the pattern, but so I offered to let her get it instead of me because I could tell she really liked it. And what we ended up doing is they had a fat quarter of this fabric that we both kind of decided might be the best choice for this piece, and this only takes a fat eighth because it's a Nora Corbett. It's a small one. It's not a full Mirabilia. So we split the fabric and we both started it, and she's going to buy the pattern when we get home, but we were able to both start it there at the retreat. So that was exciting. I got all the beads, and we got this Zweigart blue-gray fabric, and I did all the light skin color I started in the middle was like right here, and I didn't have an iron. Ugh. The one in the hotel room didn't do very good, so I'm gonna have to iron this. It really bugs me that my stitches look pretty messy right here because of all the creases, but alas, I will rectify that soon. And I didn't even think to iron this before I showed it, so there we go. But I worked up her arm and then did her chest area, and this is her neck and chin. So that's what I did to start, because I felt like it'd be fun to do something slightly different than what Colette was doing. Because at first I was going to be in the dress as well. She chose to start in the dress. But I'm like, you know what? I do like to start from the top down, and this is a nice, easy way to skip up to the top. Next time I work on her, I can work on hair and face, and then, you know, do wings and hair and all the things. There's a big thing of pink in her hair, so I'm sure that when I stitch that, some of those colors will come down into her dress too. So I don't know when I'll get back to it, but I got it started. And I will throw in a picture of Colette and I with our starts, however, wherever we got to there at the retreat. So that was fun. I worked on her a little bit on all 3 days. Colette just worked on her on Friday and did more on Friday than I did, but I kept bringing her out each day until I got all that skin done. And this is a sneak peek at what I received. And the person who gave me this had no idea, but it's like the perfect needle minder for this project. So thank you. And I will share more about that at the end. But that was really fun. Got that started. 2/2 full cross on this 32 count blue-gray linen by Swigert. So I need a little roll for it. I don't even have a little tube to put it in yet. So that's exciting. That was my first purchase at Stitcher's Paradise. Yes, you heard that right. I also worked on Butterfly Rose Cross that day, and I think that's all I wrote down that I worked on, because there was just a lot going on that first day. We didn't even arrive to the conference room until 4, I think, in the afternoon. And so, of course, we had to settle in, we had to talk, we had to put stuff on the freebie table, we had to put stuff out on the brag table, we had to look around, you know. So not a whole lot of stitching happened on Friday. Saturday was a lot more stitching, and I think it was just pretty much a regular day. Colette and I were with some of we weren't the last people in the room, but we stayed until about midnight. And there were 4 others that stayed a little bit longer than that. I don't know exactly when, but it was fun to stitch the night away, really. So we got started down in the room at like 8:30 in the morning and stitched and visited all day long. So I did a little bit on Foxglove, again, the Nora Corbett piece. Then I pulled out Hibiscus Fairy, because that is one that I started with Colette a while back. I think it was my birthday start one year, and she hopped on the bandwagon. This is by Meredith Delman. I have it in her designs. And I really had a goal of finishing the top row of stitches. Using my method of symbol picking a lot across the top row. So there's more than just the top row stitched. I pick a symbol and do it wherever it goes. So I got 333 stitches, and my goal met of completing the top row of cross stitches, which is really fun. So here's my Hibiscus Fairy. And this is 28 count tea-dyed Monaco by Charles Craft, 1/1 full cross. Super fun. So I worked mainly over here and got all the way to the corner. There, that is stitched right there. It's just like a pale pink color. And yeah, there will be another, there's a leaf coming in here that I've already done. There'll be another leaf here. And then there's like the loop of vines around her. It's getting started there. So super fun. I was happy to pull that out again. This one I believe is slotted for my full coverage week in June. So that's when you can expect to see some more of that. But it was fun to get like a bonus day on it, because I had not originally planned on working on it until June. So also did another little bit on my Butterfly Rose Cross, which you already saw. And then I pulled out Those Who Sing. in the evening. Oh, when did I didn't write this down. I have another one I worked on Friday and or Saturday. I honestly don't remember, that I forgot to write down. I'll have to make sure I write it down to know that I did work on it then. But this is Those Who Sing by The Drawn Thread. I started this with Colette for her birthday a couple years ago, and she finished it a long time ago because she has goals of finishing her birthday stitch before her next birthday. I didn't do that. But I did a little bit on Saturday night, and here's where I got to. This is 32 count Mushroom Slushy Even Weave by Fabric Flair. 2/2 full cross, except for the specialty stitches, which are whatever it's called for. So I did the black, one length of black, which is an eyeball that you can barely see, and then all of this black on the bird, and then the yellow in the bird too, which is fun. I'm doing a color conversion. I think there might be 1 or 2 colors that I had, but most of these are similar, but just what I had in stash. Yeah, so that's cute. At least a little bit of work on this. This one should come out for 2 weeks of try to finish it stitching in October. So that was fun, again, to get a little bit of time on that when it wasn't normally a planned time. And then the one that I forgot to write down, Heirloom Stitching Sampler. Because I started this with Colette probably for like World Cross Stitch Day or something, 2 or 3 years ago. I don't think I've worked on it since then. So mine was, is woefully behind. She'd already gotten a little farther than I had. But I hadn't even finished the alphabet up here. And that's pretty sad. I did my own color conversion to, it calls for NPIs and then a variety of silks and things that are variegated. So all the variegated I changed to whatever fancy floss cottons I had on hand in my stash. And then the NPIs got converted to DMC. So mine is filled with stash. And then I also am stitching this on a pretty purple fabric that's, I believe, was gifted to me by Shelly. It's only Stitchin. And the purple is better back there. But here's my stitching compared to last time. I had so much fun working on this. I got the alphabet finished. It was really quick to finish the alphabet. The satin stitch heart there in the middle, which looks so cute and puffy. And then because I didn't feel like I didn't trust myself to properly place the 1/1 vines on the sides of the thing while at a retreat, I went ahead and went down to the satin stitch borders underneath and did those because those were pretty easy to do. And then there's a sparkly eyelet band there in the center of those satin stitches. This top satin stitch is variegated and the bottom is just ecru DMC. So the variegated one is pretty fun. All right, so yeah, that was really fun. And I'll post a picture here of me and Colette together because she worked on it a little bit this weekend too. She has all of the 1/1 borders finished around the top, but other than that, I think we're right about the same spot now. Hers is also on purple, but hers is like a wood violet, a little bit more of a muted purple. And yeah, they're both 32 count, I believe. The main cross stitches will be 2/2. So yeah, that was fun to do that with her as well. Then, did I do anything different? Oh yeah, so I finished up a little bit of Those Who Sing on Sunday because I didn't quite finish my string, and did my temperature Quaker, which you already saw, worked the rest of the skin on Foxglove, which you already saw. Then I pulled out my Sunday piece, which was Spring Montage. And didn't get a lot done on this because it is confetti heavy, but I did 108 stitches, so it wasn't a complete waste of a day. And I will have one more Sunday on it coming up here, the 30th. I'll get one more day on it. So maybe I'm hoping that will be a little bit better amount of stitching so that I can, yeah, just have a little bit more progress on this. So here's where this one's at now. This is 28 count Mushroom Lugana 1/1 full cross. You may not be able to see what I did. A lot of it was pale colors, but there are 100 more stitches in here. And oh yeah, I think the first 3 blocks are completely done now, which is cool because I am picking symbols in each block. So when I finish, when a block is completely finished, I'll move to the next block and pick a symbol that's not yet done and do that wherever it goes. And yeah, so that's been fun. You can see the little flowers coming together. There's somebody, I think Bunny Stitcher on Instagram. Hers is looking real nice. So you should go check hers out. She's got a lot more done on hers than I do. Oh, I forgot. On Monday, I forgot to show my family piece. I just lost my place. There we go. I worked on mini bear time stories here at home. And I got 284 half stitches. This is by Randall Spangler, Heaven and Earth Designs. Super cute. I'm working on this for my younger son. And I'm color completing the darkest, that dark burgundy, the most used color in this at this point. That's what I'm doing. I still have quite a bit more of it to do. So this is 40 count Vertil 1/1 half cross. So again, there's my hand. It is very small. So I worked in here and like around the edge of his face. I don't know if there's any, yeah, maybe some in the nose too. So that was 284 stitches, and they're half stitches, and it's one color, so I was able to get a little bit more on that day. So that was really nice. It's nice to see the structure coming together, and dark colors really work to help with that. So I will bring this out again next month, probably. That's the plan anyways. So yes. So I think that's all I worked on. So I'll share my plans for this coming week, and then I'll talk what I picked up at retreat, because I have a few more things that I got. So this week I'll do my last family piece, which is another rotation on Dragon Ride. And I feel like I feel like I just worked on this. Which is fine. But yeah, this is by Teresa Wensler. Last time I did some border, so I might keep going on the border. Let's see what it looks like. So here this is MCG Textiles Even Weave in light blue. Mostly 2/2 full cross. The man is charted 1/1, and last time I did the lightest color in the border, so that pretty much, except for this little gap right here, the top border is all cross-stitched. So I think it could be fun to go through and backstitch that border and maybe add some beads. I think that'd be fun. So maybe I'll do this color and then head down with it wherever that goes, and then do the backstitching and see if I have any time for beads. There's 2 different colors of backstitching in there, so I may not have time for beads, but because it's only one day. But that is what I'm planning on working on today, along with maybe a little bit on my Mill Hill Honeybee. And then the rest of the week through Saturday, I'm going to be working on my full coverage for the month of April, which, if you know all of my projects, you know which one it will be, because how can I not do this one in April? April Fairy. So this is by Hannah Lynn, Heaven and Earth Designs, and I had to work on this one in April. So this one I am working on the diagonal in like a stitch by stitch method. So it's not like my normal methods. It does go slower, so I don't have any high hopes of like 1,000 stitches or something. Be nice, but I'll do what I can, and I will have fun doing it. So I do enjoy this method, but I don't want to do it on everything because it is a little bit slower. It's kind of fun though. So here's my starting point. This is 28 count Rose Monaco 1/1 full cross. Yeah, so that's where I'm starting. I'm in her hair. It's not super exciting yet, but there are flows of color which can make it kind of fun. So yeah, that's my starting point. I will give that 5 days, and hopefully you will see some nice progress this coming week. So I think that's everything. Except for stuff. So I alluded to a gift I received that included this pretty needle minder that matched our foxglove star perfectly. But Colette was at a retreat last weekend in Utah, and some of her friends, the Wasatch Whipsters, is that the name of your group? They were so sweet, and they put together a goodie bag for me. So I want to thank Emily, Amy, and Jordan for their beautiful, beautiful bag that they got me. Do you see what's on there? This is so me. Oh, thank you guys. And it has a little owl. Super cute. And then there's also another little bag. This is by Georgie's Handmade, which I think is this is one of them, right? Jordan. So you can, this one has a little made with love charm on it for little notions or a small mill hill. But they got me that needle minder, so I'm putting it to use already. This is an example of a small mill hill that could go in here. Thanks. That's really cute. Does it have stitching? Yeah, it does have stitching. I was thinking maybe it was all beaded, but it is, the background is stitching. The words, and there's a little bit of red stitching, but like a lot of beads, which is fun. I do not mind beads. They have a pineapple beeswax, which is really cute. A bead funnel tray, which is nice. I'll have to try that. And so when you're done, you can put it back in the container. I like that especially for non-mill hills, like a Mira or something that I'm beading one bead at a time in a section. I can dump them out there and then put them back in my little bucket. I think that'll be really nice. And they got me a few cute little strings. There's a Krynic and a glisten glass blending filament that's purple. Ooh, so sparkly. There we go. So those are fun. And several pretty flosses. Is it Garibaldi needleworks? Those are pretty. Slightly tonal variegated, so very nice, very springy. And then there's a Stitches and Spice golden wattle and Gentle Art limited edition, which is perfect. I think I could definitely use that. There's always those neutrals that you end up needing more of that you don't think to get because they're not as they don't draw you necessarily on a panel of all the colors, but you need them and they're really pretty. So this is actually not a DMC base. Stitches and Spice looks like it's an Australian company. It's like a pearl cotton or something. So that'll be fun. I'll have to try that somewhere. And it might be something like, what's the one? I'm drawing a blank. Those little bobbins, the spools, the people, Sulky. It might be like Sulky, where you can do one of those in place of 2 strands of DMC or something like that. So that is super fun. I feel very spoiled. So that was a surprise and super exciting to see that. And Colette got me a little gift because she's so sweet for being her roommate, I guess. These cute little ladybug scissors. Those are adorable. I started using them on Friday and then I lost them. I found them again today. They were kind of buried in the bag. But I used them on Friday. And then this little Altoid tin, Give It to God, is what it says on the outside. And then inside is a Bible verse by Luke, which is cute. And she threw in there this cute little, I don't know, maybe it came with it, a notepad with a tiny little pencil. So adorable. So I love that. I'm gonna have to use that. I might even convert it to a bead tin like I've seen Calico Whimsy Christine do. That would be fun. And then also Colette also gave a cute little goodie bag to everybody at our table, some candy and this is a needle threader and a nail file. What is this? Oh, seam fix. So it's a seam ripper. Nice. I didn't even know. I had too many. Oh, and this is like a rubbery end. So that's probably like after you've frogged, you can like rub out the little bits on your fabric. I could use that. Thank you, Colette. We also got a goodie bag at the retreat with a variety of things in it. There was some pens, some beads, some flosses. These are silks. I think they're Vicki Clayton, specifically made for the 1884 stitchery. Oh, you just want to pet them all day. This is Splendor silk pearl. So this is, it looks very similar to that other thread I got from the Wasatch Whipsters. She also threw in some fabric, which looks like it might be 28 count linen. We got two free patterns, one by Arlene Cohen of Works by ABC, which is like a Las Vegas mandala, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so Las Vegas swirl is what she's calling it because that's where the retreat was. And then there was a retreat piece by me that I included in all of the, had McKenna included in all the welcome bags. So it says, friendship is born at that moment when one person says to another, what, you too? I thought I was the only one, with a bunch of stitching embellishments. And you can personalize it with your initials. And I chose to use my initials and Colette's initials since we were there at the retreat together. So that was fun. I will keep this exclusive to Stitch Shenanigans attendees for approximately 6 months. I think I'll release it in my Etsy shop around Thanksgiving. So if you like that, you can look for it a little bit later. But I'll let those retreat ladies have at it first. So there were also a few things people passed around. There were some thread cards, a counting pin, this other little spool, so cute, with the counting pin stuck in it, super cute. There's some more counting pins. These ones are two needles, and I actually used this when I started my fairy, so that was really nice. I put one pin in the center and then I counted over to where I wanted to start. Carla. She got me this cute kitty needle minder, and I think I will have a hard time keeping this away from my daughter, but one of us will enjoy it very much. And Elaine gave me this pretty blue thread, and then Live and Die LA, which had a pop-up shop there, had this pretty exclusive to Stitch Shenanigans limited edition floss. So exciting. I also bought some fabric from Live and Die LA because I saw a model stitch there on the brag table, and I just fell in love with it. And I'm not normally a Halloween stitcher, but every once in a while, something that's like happy Halloween kind of draws me. And this one, I felt like it was just right for our family. So I went ahead and bought the fabric for it at the retreat from Live and Die LA, Valerie. And I got a 1/4 yard of 32 count Lugana in sleigh bells. So it's like a light green with some yellow modeling. And it's a little murky. You know, I thought it would be perfect for Halloween, but it could also be used for a Nora Corbett pixie, a fairy of some kind, because this piece probably only needs a fat eighth, and a fairy only needs a fat eighth. So a fat 1/4 could go to good use for 2 different projects. And then Colette wanted to go back to Stitcher's Paradise on Sunday because she had another pattern she was wanting to pick up. And I went with her and asked them if they had the pattern of the one I had seen on the brag table, and they did. So I picked it up. This is Let's Get Spooky by Ursula Michael, Imaginating. And I just thought that'd be perfect on this like light green fabric, because we like cats in our house. The hat is purple. pumpkin. It's very happy and cute, so I need to do this pretty soon. So maybe I can fit this into my October plans because I'm excited about that one. And then the last but not least, I have a little bit I picked up on the freebie table. I found a couple swatches of maybe 25 and like 28 or 32, like even weaves. They're really small pieces. Like this is just an end. This one's a little bigger, but I could do smalls on these because I like to stitch over one, so sure. And they're colorful. Then I picked up some random things. This is by Paw Printing's Fall Foliage Sampler. And it's just got some specialty stitches and things. I thought that was cute. A little bit of Hardanger. Still haven't decided yet if I am going to like Hardanger. I got a couple John Clayton Elegance ladies, which I thought were cute. So I don't know if I'll stitch them anytime soon, but couldn't leave them there. This one is called Life is a Song by Stony Creek. And this one is nice. I like the treble clef thing. My dad plays the violin, my mom plays viola. I have already made them a violin piece, but what really caught me was this one back here, which is a flute. And if my daughter continues on with the flute, that could be something to make for her in the future, because right now she's just starting to learn it. And so if she keeps up with that, that could be something to keep on the back burner. I found this one, The Mountains by I know not who. It's a really old hand-drawn pattern, but I thought that was really pretty. And that kind of exemplifies what we like, where we like to go on vacations. Mountains, trees, rivers, creeks, things like that. This was a cute one by Shepherd's Bush. 2,000 Years Ago, it's called. It's a nativity. And it says, 2,000 years ago, the angels sang, shepherds watched, wise men came. And there's the 4 different things. You could do them as pillows, and they have them in a little frame. You can potentially do them all in one piece too. So I thought that was cute. This one was pretty sweet. It's an old one, but friendly enemies. So there's like a kitty and a puppy and a little girl holding them, and it was just cute. And this one, Triple Let's Freeform Bargello by Rainbow Gallery. So this is like a Bargello stitch design, which I thought was really pretty. So I don't know if I'd use the exact colorings that they have, because they have a bunch of crazy types of glosses, but you could do this in any color. I think it would be really pretty. So I just picked that up, and I think that's everything. Had a lovely time. I don't remember if I forgot any buddy pieces, but I did meet a couple ladies who were currently working on my temperature butterflies, which was really fun. So I'll include those pictures here. One of them was doing her, I think she called it the Adventures of 2023 or something like that. Because she's stitching it for the days for the places where she is. So she had her Las Vegas temperatures. She had somewhere away from home earlier in the year that she did the temperatures of where she was, not just the whole year in one location. So that was fun. And the other one was she's finishing it up for last year, so she's a little farther along than April. And I think I'll just do a little montage of everybody that I met, that I had kind of a great conversation with, kind of made a friend. It was really fun to chit chat with everybody and be welcomed and enjoyed. We had a wonderful table. I'll put my table picture in here. We had Jenny, Stephanie, and their mom, Sue. Lovely ladies. It was really fun to talk with them. So we got a picture together with them, and yeah, and then we have also a large group picture of the entire all of us, which was really fun. So it's nice to have that big picture to show everybody who was there. So that was really fun. I enjoyed meeting everybody and having an excuse to talk to people about this craft that we all love and interact with them, share what I'm working on, and kind of, there were some people that had questions about beading, and I had some things on the brag table that I could show, kind of explain in a visual of how I do beading. And there was something else, maybe I got a tip from someone, but oh yeah. So anyways, there's just a lot of people that I met. I'm not gonna try and remember names, because there's some people I don't remember names, but I remember faces, and I really enjoyed meeting everybody. And hopefully I'll get to go back to a retreat at some point. I don't know when, but that will be really fun. So with that, I will sign off and hope you have a wonderful rest of your April, and happy stitching. Bye.